So today let's start the AC circuits containing resistance only. Now we are going to discuss those kind of circuits in which we are going to attach or we are going to apply certain types of elements which will be resistances, reactances and capacitances. So one by one we will be seeing all these kind of circuits. So first we are going to study the AC circuit containing resistance only. Afterwards we will be studying the circuits containing only inductance and then capacitance and then their combinations. Getting this? So let's start first the AC circuit containing resistance only. It is also known as or pure resistive circuit. Pure resistive circuit. This is another heading. So let's suppose one of the resistance, capital R ohm, has been connected across a alternating EMF source whose EMF is varying sinusoidally by the given equation E is equals to E naught sine omega t. Right? All right. So such circuit, whatever circuit we have drawn, is known as pure resistive circuit. This is called the pure resistive circuit. Only single resistance or only resistance element is there, alternating EMF. So as the key is on or closed, alternating current will start to flow through it. It will go and it will cross the resistance. It means there will be some potential drop across the terminal of the resistances. Let's suppose this is point A, this is point B. Then how much potential drop should be there? If I current will be flowing across the resistance R, what should be the potential drop? IR, right? So here, whatever potential drop, it should be IR. Now this potential drop is basically in between the terminals of A and B. And in between A and B, what potential difference is there? E. So can we write here, here given alternating EMF is or alternating EMF is given by, let alternating EMF is given by the equation, E is equals to E naught sine omega t, equation number 1. As the circuit is being closed, some current will be flowing. So here VAB across R, it should be is equals to IR. But this is also equation 2. Equation 1 and 2, by equation 1 and 2, potential difference across AB. This is also the potential difference across AB only. So can I equate them either by using Kirchhoff's voltage rule or by simply Ohm's law here, right? So generally we don't say Ohm's law because it's the alternating, but still the same terminal, same potential difference will be there. So what I can say, equation 1 and 2 are showing the potential difference or potential drop between the terminals AB. So if you will be applying the Kirchhoff voltage law, so from where whatever direction the current has been released, that would be taken as positive. Another one is negative. So if you will be applying the Kirchhoff's KVL, minus 2 plus E, then in the same direction of current minus IR. So E minus IR will be equals to 0. Again, you will be getting the same result whatever I have written here, right? So it should be E is equals to IR. What is E here? E naught sine omega t is equals to, so what should be the I? E naught by R sine omega t, or I is equals to I naught sine omega t. Equation number 4, where E naught upon R is equals to I naught peak value of, or simply peak current value. Get it? Now we have derived the relation. And what we need to check, the AC circuit containing the resistance only. So here we are going to check the relationship between the alternating EMF and alternating current. And we need to draw the phasor diagram and graphs of this. By knowing the phase difference, we can easily draw the phasor diagram. So if I'll compare this equation 4 is showing this equation 4 is showing what? Showing the equation of alternating current in the circuit. Since by equation 4 and equation 1, we can, if we'll compare, then what is the phase difference between them? 0 degree. It means their maximum value will be at the same manner, minimum value will be at the same manner, and again negative values will be in the same manner. So clearly by equation 1 and 4, we can say that what? The alternating EMF and alternating current are in phase, since the phase difference between them, between E and I is 0. Delta phi is equals to omega t minus omega t 0. Got it? This one is theta 1. This one is theta 2. Both are same. So delta, or phi 1, phi 2. So delta phi will be phi 2 minus phi 1, or phi 1 minus phi 2. It would be 0 only. It means both are moving in the same manner. So what should be the graph for this? If I'll be plotting the graph, time versus EMF and current, E versus T graph, ET graph or IT graph, what I will obtain? I'm drawing the graph of so this one is the graph of E, right? This is positive half cycle, this is negative half cycle. So this peak value should be known as E naught. Now if I'll be drawing the graph for EI, E has been drawn, I'm drawing the graph for I. I value should be less than or equal to the peak value of E naught. Less than. Reason? E naught upon R. So definitely there is some factor due to which it has been reduced 1 upon R time. So obviously peak value will be in the same manner. 0 will be at 0, 0 will be at 0, but their maximum value will be little bit less than to E naught. So this is I naught. Similarly, in that way, this should be minus I naught. So if I'll be drawing the graph, it should be the nature of graph. So this is the E and I versus time graph, right? Let's draw the phasor diagram for this. So phasor diagram, Those diagram which shows the relationship of alternating current and alternating EMF in the manner of vectors, rotating vectors, moving in a plane with some angular frequency or with some angular velocity. So let's suppose this is the plane xy, and since we got the concept to draw the phasor diagram on y-axis, from this is the center, their coordinate axis 0, 0. So from origin we take a rotating vector. Let's suppose this is the rotating vector. Then this rotating vector will be representing the phasor vector taken for alternating EMF and alternating current. So what is alternating EMF? E. So phasor vector will be phasor E vector. And the length or magnitude of this will be representing what? E naught, peak value. Now since by the relationship equation 4 and equation 1, we can see that there is no phase difference. And initially, it is what angle? Omega t from time axis. So from x-axis, how much angle should be made? Omega t at time t, small t. So E naught is making some angle, omega t, this is its phi 1. Similarly, if I'll be drawing, so this phasor will be rotating in that way, right? So right now at an instant t, it is here. At 0, it will become here. At 90 degree peak value, it will be here. And projection of it will be its instantaneous value of E. Clearly, you can see that at 90 degree, E will become E naught, isn't it? How? Graphically, if I'll show it, then what I need to do? I need to draw a circle. So once it will come here, then projection of E naught at itself will be here only. So this value E naught will become the E only. Can you get it? At 90 degree, omega t value will be pi by 2. So sine 90 will be 1. So E is equals to E naught, done. So hence we can easily check the relationship between alternating EMF with respect to time by this phasor diagram. Now we need to plot the, we need to draw the phasor diagram for I as well. Since the value of I naught is lesser than 2 E naught, but they are in phase. In phase means having the same angles. So I is also making the same angle omega t at instant t. So, but its value, peak value should be lesser than 2 E naught. So that's why we have taken the arrow till here, beforewards. And on the same line we show what's the phase difference between them? Omega t minus omega t. They are making the same angle, no phase difference. So they will be moving with the same angular velocity because we have shown this is also omega, this is also omega. So they are moving with the same angular velocity. They are in phase, no phase difference. So that's how both will be moving in the same manner. And the projection of I naught taken on y-axis should be known as instantaneous value of alternating current, that is I. Clear? So that is what we have studied. This is called the AC circuit containing resistance only or pure resistive circuit. So the question comes in that way. What is pure resistive circuit? Find the relationship and draw the phasor diagram for alternating EMF and alternating current, right? So you have to do this that much, 2 marks or 3 marks question, right? How many of you understood it fully? Let's next talk about the AC circuit containing inductor only or pure inductive resistance. Let's suppose we have taken one coil of inductance capital L, almost negligible resistance. So it is having only inductance. It's not having almost 0.000 something resistance. So almost negligible resistance. Let's suppose we have connected an alternating EMF source across it. So we know that whenever some current will be flown through it, some EMF will be generated, which will be trying to oppose the flow of current, right? And if L is the conductor and I is the current, then how much should the potential drop or EMF generated across the terminals? Minus L di by dt, minus sign is showing only that it should be in the opposite direction of flow of current or opposite direction of plus minus. So initially if I have taken plus minus, so if the EMF in this direction, then it is also opposing it, right? So if EMF is in this direction, then this EMF is in this direction. Getting this? So can I say, let this is again E is equals to E naught sine omega t. So let the equation of alternating EMF or simply AC voltage is given by E is equals to E naught sine omega t, equation number 1, due to this EMF, due to this alternating EMF, some alternating current flows, some AC or alternating current I flows through the circuit, through the inductor. Therefore, according to laws of EMI, some EMF will be induced across the coil, which must be equal to minus L di by dt, and will try to oppose the alternating EMF E. Therefore, net EMF of the circuit, net instantaneous EMF of the circuit should be how much? E minus L di by dt. This is nothing but it is across the potential drop or potential difference between A and B terminal. I have shown it, right? Okay. Equation 1. If it is since it is a pure inductive circuit having no resistance, negligible resistance, therefore अगर resistance नहीं है, then what will happen? No potential drop. If there is no resistance, potential drop happens or occurs across the resistance. If there will be no resistance, then same potential will be there across each and every terminals. It means potential drop between A and B should be 0. No potential at A, same potential 10 volt, B same potential 10 volt. Then potential drop between A and B should be, since there is no resistance, right? It is pure conductor, right? So it is a pure inductive circuit having no resistance. Therefore, potential drop across AB should be 0. That is, VAB should be 0. By 1 and 2, what we can write? E minus L di by dt should be equals to 0. Or else, if you don't want it, again apply the KVL. Plus E, one of the EMF, E1 is E. You are going in this direction, but EMF is in the opposite direction. So minus induced EMF, so minus L di by dt is equals to 0. There is no IR element. So E minus L di by dt is equals to 0. So what will get? E is equals to L di by dt. What is E? E naught sine omega t is equals to L di by dt. So di should be equals to E naught by L sine omega t dt. Equation number 3rd, 4th, 5th. This is the small current in time interval dt. So what should be the full current? Integration of di E naught upon L sine omega t dt. Now you can solve it and get the expression both sides. Di will become I. So I is equals to E naught upon L outside, and just